sketch an unconventional root locus plot for that. Okay? So let's go through the whole process, even though he only asked me part of this, but it's not a bad thing to do. So we have this thing right here. We want to figure out the unconventional root locus plot, which means we want to figure out at least the denominator of the closed loop transfer function. H of S is going to equal some junk on top, but what is the bottom going to look like?
It's a junk plus A times some junk.
Yeah, but we have to get to the first step first before we move it into that position.
I'm just moving faster.
Yeah. So what goes in front? What's this piece? So it's S plus 5, S plus A, plus 3, S plus 2A. Right?
Yeah.
So what I've done is 1 plus this. But I've multiplied top and bottom by that. I don't care what's in the numerator. It does not matter. So I'm not even bothering to calculate that. That's S squared plus 5 plus A times S plus 5A. Did I do that right? So I'm going to change that into 5S plus AS. Luckily it's not AS squared.
I got you. That's fine.
Okay?
Oop.
Did I do that right? Now, Ruben, I need to rearrange that into what form?
A stuff.
So that's plus 5S plus, oh, no, that's got an A in it, 3S. So that's all my pieces that don't have A's, plus A times all the pieces that do have A.
Okay.
What does that say? S plus 5 plus 6?
Yep. So what is 5 plus 6? 11. This is my pseudo numerator. This is my pseudo denominator. Just like this was my actual denominator and this was my actual numerator, now I've resplit this into this form. So now I can figure out that I have a 0 at minus 11. And I have poles. Well, what does this come out to be? I want to rewrite that as S plus 8, right?
Yeah.
So I have a pole here and a pole here. Now I have to be able to do a root locus plot of that. Real axis rule says here and here and here. And this is probably going to be about the center and some sort of a loop like this, right?
Yeah.
Are we good with this? Probably as circular as we can get.
That's all we have to do?
No.
No, this is the first part. This is actually creating the plot. This is the part he wasn't asking about at all. He'd already done, didn't care about. All of that was a waste of his time. But it is a problem of an unconventional root locus plot. This came out of an old exam, so that's the toughness that you can kind of look at. But draw an arrow to the place on your root locus plot where you'd like to place the closed loop pole for no ringing and the shortest settling time. What is your best guess of this plot? So you'd probably point to something like this.
Yes.
No.
Now everybody's is going to be a little bit different because everybody's root locus plot is going to be a little different because we're not figuring in our breaking point exactly. But that has, let's see, shortest possible settling time. So if we go in here, there's going to be, according to that, a little bit less. In reality, we'd probably better it there. But if we point to this spot, we know about where we're pointing. And that looks like between 10 and 11, 10 and 15, at about 13. Roughly. Again, everybody's a little bit different. according to how you drew it. But I want to see the general idea. Once you pointed that point and decided what it was, then the rest of your numbers should be based on that. Pulls for no ringing in the shortest settling time. What is your best guess of S at this location? And I will base what's right and wrong about the other two answers based on what you put there. Find the value of A needed based on your reading of your plot above. There is two ways I can do that. I could plug this in up here in the original and figure out a gain, or I could plug it into the fake one and figure out a gain. Either way works. Let's plug it into the fake one. So what's the fake G of S? Call it the fake one. It's fake news.
Is he plugging in the fake one?
The fake one has S plus 11 on top, and it has S times S plus 8 on the bottom. If we put in S of negative 13, that's why I chose no ringing whatsoever, because that puts it on the real axis. It means it's not a complex number and the arithmetic's easier. Okay? So 1 over G of negative 13, the fake one, would give us negative 13 times negative 13 plus 8 divided by negative 13 plus 1, 11. Negative 13 plus 11, that's negative 2. So that's equal to negative 2 on the bottom. What's on top? Negative 13 plus 8 is negative 5 times negative 13. I have no idea what that comes out to be.
65 divided by 2.
7.5, 35, somewhere around 40. 32 and a, 38 and a half, 37 and a half?
37 and a half. 32 and a half.
Yeah, 32 and a half.
Negative.
So is that A?
And negative, that was the correct sign. That's how it should come out. So if I take the magnitude of that, I get 32 and a half. The fact that it came out negative said, yeah, it was on the root locus plot. Could we have done it on the real one? Well, let's go up there and see if that would work too. What's A? We don't know what A factor is, do we?
That's what we're trying to find.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to find. But we know that this is, let's see.
We don't know K either.
Yeah, leave it that way. Go to the fake one. It's easier. Okay. Is there anything else we need to find here? If you wanted more ringing and overshoot, well, if I wanted more ringing and I was here, I would have to make a bigger gain or a bigger A or a lesser A? Lesser A. So A should be less than the value. Yeah.
Question, so the shortest settling time is closer to the origin, correct?
Yes.
Or closer to
No. That's longer settling time. Because that's 4 over A. Or 1 over 4A. Goodness. Now 4 over A. 4 over A. 4 over A. Good. So it's inversely proportional to A. A is the distance from the geometric axis. That did more than answer your question?
That was helpful. That's the part.
The last piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just to be sure, so it has to be less than the value found.
It would have to be less than for the last part, because we're now going to get some ringing. I chose this point for no ringing, so if we make less gain, we'll go back up in here. Our closed loop poles will go back up that way, and I will start to pick up ringing. So if I wanted more ringing and overshoot, I needed to turn down gain. Now, it's not normally a thing I would want, but the fact that it's normally not a wanted thing doesn't mean I can't ask the question, right? If I wanted this. All right, other questions? We answered that one, right?
We did. Thank you.
Yes?
7.
7.
Yes.
Same test?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be here for a little while. This is the time consumer right here. Okay? And notice the points associated with this one.
Most.
Yeah, there's a lot. This is the one you want to get right. So, I think that's out of my reach.
No, you got it.
Think tall.
Think tall.